What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Marsh Boys podcast. I'm Brian.
And I'm Ryan. Oh no, no, god damn it.
And we're back on the liquor.
May God help our souls.
It's not good, is it?
Stinky.
Yeah, it's not good.
Stinky, oh fuck, what is that?
The Noble Coyote.
That's tequila or is that mezcal? That's mezcal.
That's why it tastes like ass. It's mezcal.
Yeah, they put it in smoked barrels. I could taste the smoke.
Ew.
Yes, that's mezcal, homie.
Well, it's a cool bottle, I guess.
If I was prepared for it being mezcal, I wouldn't have been shocked like that. I was expecting tequila. Instead, I got El Scotch. Come on, that was pretty good.
That's amazing. And no, we're not restarting this time. It stays
No, that was
in.
good. That was a good one. Ryan's back to saying off the cuff things, everybody. I'm on a shoestring. We'll see if I make it to work tomorrow.
And why is that?
Because I have an unintentional camber on my front passenger side tire of the Ranger.
An unintentional what?
Camber.
Oh, camber.
And 3/4 of the tire is great. 1/4 of the tire is down to the cord. And the shop's closed.
It's a good time to be Ryan.
120 miles tomorrow. That's all that baby's got to do. 120 miles will be fine. Wish me luck. Godspeed. I shouldn't have dropped AAA.
I told you that last week.
They still haven't sent me my check.
Anyway, we've had a pretty cool weekend.
This was an awesome weekend.
First of all, huge shout out to James. We've had him on the podcast a bunch. You guys know who he is, from Bros in a Blind. Him and Jack for inviting us on this hunt. What was really cool is he texted me and goes, "Hey, I got a place. Just bring the trailer. Set whatever you want. Do it however you want. We got geese." So I hooked up the trailer, grabbed the dog, and yeah, that was another thing I was very grateful for. Thank you, James, for letting me bring Goose. Yeah, it was an amazing day. We shot 23 birds before 10 o'clock. If we would have stayed set up and we would have been a little more patient, we probably would have got around the 30 mark.
Mm-hmm.
But, 23
I
is
mean,
not a
that's
bad
the
day.
best day we've had.
This year, yeah.
And even, like, a lot of last year.
Yeah, last year was a lot of 11 to 15 bird days.
This was
mark.
awesome. I thought they acted like buffleheads.
Well, that's what happens when you're on an X.
And I
That
thought
was probably Ryan's first experience on an X for geese.
so. I thought we've been kind of quote unquote on the X, but that's like a whole different thing. When you tell me when the birds want something, they want it no matter what.
Yeah,
Some of the flocks almost circled back after getting shot at.
yeah.
It was
And those birds
insane.
hadn't been pressured in that spot before. It was all around just an ideal end of the month hunt for September geese.
They were coming from every direction. They were still coming in when we were packing up with the trucks there.
Yeah.
We got awesome footage.
Yep,
for
there's going to be
once.
some really cool content. I'm probably going to slap together a shorter YouTube video.
You guys can make fun of my shooting because I know I can't see where the shot goes, but a lot of you guys seem to be able to see where the shot's going. It's all over the place. I did make contact a couple times. Hopefully those are the ones he posts.
Like I said, it'll be a YouTube video. It'll be all of, it may only be a couple minutes long, but it'll be the most. We didn't get all the birds we shot on camera. I noticed with Ryan, there was a few videos where he was recording when he thought he wasn't recording. Same thing I did when we were fishing.
That camera doesn't make the beep.
Because I turned it off.
The beep's kind of useful. Then I know, because I know.
All you have to do is go, oh, it's not recording.
Then I know. Well, I did do that a couple times.
I know. Look, I think we only missed one flock. We got the big rain out. We got the really cool one.
I think I got a couple of my shots.
Yep.
Which makes me really happy because I'm never confident if I actually got a bird.
Yep.
And I did. And that feels pretty good.
Goose had another pretty long retrieve considering. I had to give him some guidance, but probably about a 70-yard retrieve. some short retrieves, some cripples he got a hold of.
Water retrieves. He had a lot of retrieves. Goose was dying.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't call it that. We got home and he was still ready to go. He's a nutcase. He needs a 50 bird day, I think, to calm him down.
After carrying that really, really big dinosaur of a goose out of the water by the wing.
Well, the first one or the second one he grabbed, I don't think he. Well, obviously he didn't. He didn't think it was going to be as deep as it was. He grabbed it by the foot and drug it to the bank.
Yeah, there was one he grabbed by the wing and drug to the bank, and after that, he was hesitant to go in to get the second one. He was just kind of standing there.
Wasn't really.
He didn't. He was tired.
He didn't want to go in right there. He circled around and went in. He's got the drive. I've never seen him with drive like that. I thought water retrieves. So we saw the first one where he was not good with it at all, and it kind of made me a little nervous. But seeing him Saturday with the water retrieves he did have, I probably, if we find a nicer, shallower spot and some coastal areas we hunt, I probably won't have an issue taking them.
Yeah.
But that's shooting birds from the bank at like 20 yards. I probably wouldn't have an issue with it.
And this is going to sound kind of sappy from an outsider's perspective.
Oh, boy.
But when you say a dog has the drive, like I've never really seen it. And I know some of it's you, and I know some of it's also what he's just picked up naturally. Him going back into the kennel, even with the door open, is the coolest thing ever. Like, he knows if he sits there and waits when we tell him to go, he's going to go get birds.
Yeah. 9 times out of 10, he knows when I open that kennel door, it's game time.
And it was hilarious on the one retrieve, him carrying a live goose.
The cripple back into the kennel.
And we were still walking back, and he just walked in with the cripple and just kept the cripple in the kennel with him.
That's what's really cool about Goose. He has very, very good... When he goes and gets a bird, he has very, very good recall. Like, we could be out 50 yards like we were. Remember when them geese were coming? He had the bird in his mouth and everything, and the geese came over the tree line, and we hauled ass back to the blind. We were all the way across the field, and I said kennel one time, and he beat us all.
It's a good thing. He's learned a lot. In the beginning, it was kind of rough.
Yeah, last year. Not last year, the year before.
The whining in the kennel stopped. That's awesome.
Not completely.
But it's only when he's excited. It's not the whole time because he's lonely.
Yep.
I think next year, you won't even need the door on that kennel.
I'm still going to use it just for safety precautions.
Yeah.
Like, if you notice, there was a lot of times where birds fell. I almost went to go let them out, and then we stayed in the blind. That's what that's now for, is to keep my dog safe, to keep us precautionary.
Yeah.
He has no problem staying in there now, so I don't have an issue with using that blind.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, he sits in there now. The last few hunts we've been on, I open the kennel while we're just sitting there, and he knows to stay in.
Mm-hmm. And it was nice hunting with Jack, too. Me and him kind of have the same family background, so it was nice talking to him. I know it has nothing to do with the hunt, but, like, his family's old trapper, hunter, fisher with a cabin out on the creek. My family was old trapper, fisher, hunter, family out in the creek. I think if I was in the same grade as him, we'd be really good friends.
Yeah, Jack's... That was my first time hunting with Jack, and it was a great time.
Yeah.
Same thing. Actually, it was only our second time hunting with James. Mm-hmm. And James is always a good time.
James is always a good time. Shout out to James, dude. That was such a fun hunt.
I actually got to rip on my Quill Creek goose call a little bit more, and I still shout out to Tim and Chance. I love that call.
I wasn't allowed to call.
Because
everybody else was calling. I wasn't allowed to call.
You focus on shooting in that situation.
Well, even the focusing
one thing at a time.
Yeah, even the focusing on shooting was hard.
We have to So I did the same thing in the last month or two, kind of working with Tim and getting some techniques from him and working with them. And I've flipped my calling techniques. I don't know if you've noticed, about a 180.
Yeah.
I sound a lot crisper, a lot cleaner. I instead of sound like one really annoying goose, I sound like multiple geese now. I think I'm gonna end up doing the. We'll talk about that a little later on. But yeah, my calling, I'm really happy with how it's progressing. I always said I was a pretty decent goose caller, and then I started working or talking to a really good goose caller, and I realized I wasn't shit.
Yeah. I mean,
so it's glad to have that realization and to work on it more.
Now, what happened with...
Oh, but real quick, before you ask that, what I said that was to say we need to get you a different call, an easier call to blow, and rework your calling. I think you'll be all right in time. But go ahead.
I don't think I meant to phrase it like that. I was trying to transition to what we did after the hunt because I think we talked about everything in the hunt. Unless you have something else you wanted to bring up.
No, just once again, thank you, James. Thank you, Jack. All that.
It was a great time.
Yeah. Hope we get to do it again.
So, the reason we were impatient and we had to pack up, I wouldn't say early, but it was kind of early, was because we went down to Molly's.
Yes.
For their outdoor festival.
Yes. They're, I forget what they call it, but it's basically the Molly's tent sale.
Yeah.
I guess they copyrighted and trademarked the actual name of it and talking.
I don't know if you're allowed to talk about that.
Why?
I don't know if they're keeping it a secret or not.
Oh, okay. All right, I won't talk about it then. But no, it was really, really cool going down there. I had never been to Molly's before, which is wild. It's only an hour and 15 minutes from us.
Yeah, it was nice in there. If I was more prepared, I would have walked out with a Retae that day.
That was probably the best deal I've ever seen on Retaes.
That was the craziest gun sale I've ever seen. A brand new Mas Mora was $800.
Yep, 3.5 and chambered in 3.5 inch.
Yeah.
Mine's chambered in 3 inch.
Brand new.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Next year, the dude at the table told me that next year could be even better.
Could be.
So next year, I'm probably walking out of there with a Retae.
I don't blame you. Retays, I bought that Retae last year. I got to use it this year a little bit. I love it.
Because that was what I used on the hunt this weekend, and I really liked it. It's really light. It fit my shoulder better than the Stoeger, than the Remington.
Yep.
I don't know if that means it's smaller. I don't know if they shaved the stock down before you...
It's a slimmer gun, for sure. You can feel a difference just picking up your Stoeger.
And I'm a smaller dude, so it kind of fit better. I think when I go back and get a waterfowl semi instead of, destroying my Remington, I'm probably going to go with that Retae if I can get it on that sale again, because that's insane. I saw so many people walking out with brand new Retae boxes.
There was a lot of people.
I saw at least a dozen people that bought Retaes that day. What else? We got to meet Jeff Coates for the first time in person. That was great.
Finally got to meet him in person, talk to him a little bit. Got to meet Scoter Dog and Elmer T and Proof, or not Elmer T, Rye Dog, Scoter Dog, and Proof.
I told him I was excited for the breakfast too. I'm very excited for that.
Very excited for the breakfast.
And
that's coming up in 3 weeks.
Yeah,
3 weeks.
And he was hand painting decoys out there, and all in all, it was a really good time.
Yo, absolutely. I got a pair of Extra Toughs. Finally caved in. Got a pair, and I've worn them I've worn them since.
I got a new Knizzle.
You did get you finally got a decent knife.
A decent knife for breasting out birds because I've been using my Milwaukee box cutter for a while now.
And I think we talked about this last podcast. I don't have an issue with using a box cutter. It makes a little rougher cut sometimes.
If you miss, it fans the meat out.
Yes.
And I miss a lot. So with this, it's probably going to work out a lot better. I mean, I can get the job done. I'm not the quickest, but I can get the job done. I'm a lot more comfortable with it than when we started and the first time I breasted a bird.
That's very fair. You have come a long way. You've really come a long way with everything.
All right, you're a man. Stuff it down.
You got sappy earlier.
Oh, about your dog, not you. Dogs are different. Men are allowed to be sappy about dogs.
Gotcha. That's fair. I love the Goose Boy, the Goose Man. He's got the Juice Man.
And to be sappy about Goose, in the beginning, he kind of got on my nerves a little bit because he was a puppy. Yeah, he's got me whipped now.
Yeah, like I said, I'm going to see what he does. Like I said, we have to be in the right conditions to do it, but like if we hunt the back creeks and stuff, he's definitely going to be part of that.
Yep. And then the cap off Saturday. Saturday was an amazing day. To cap it off, we balled out at Schaefer's. I balled out at Schaefer's.
It was my first time being there. Will not be my last.
I told you, if you want the touristy, drunk, idiot crowd, go to the Chesapeake Inn. I mean, you said you want the food. Go once.
Yeah.
If you want like the real deal good food, go to Schaefer's.
Yeah, and it was a good crowd. Wasn't annoying.
It wasn't annoying.
Nobody was loud. But the coolest part that we kind of glazed over completely, or skipped over, in all But wow, I just tripped up my own words there. We went with Riley, Nate, and Riley's woman Amanda and their son Grayson.
Mm-hmm.
That's who we met up down there with originally, and we ended up spending the afternoon with them and got dinner with them. So that was really cool.
It was
Hanging out with
nice.
them.
They're becoming really good friends.
Oh yeah, I would very easily consider them very, very good friends.
Mm-hmm. It was nice to see them. They're doing good. It's a shame we couldn't have had the hunt we had that day when Riley came down, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
So speaking of, I don't know why I thought of this. Oh, because I found 2 raccoons in the dumpster at work this morning. Do you have any different plans for trapping season this year? We haven't talked about that really at all, and we'll probably end up having Colby on, so we'll just kind of glance over this right now, but just to keep the conversation going.
I think I'm going to buy another dozen coon traps.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to run them, and then I think when it gets cold out, now if I get a deer, I'm going to set this camera, and I'm going to see if I can set a couple snares and try to get a dog.
Rephrase that.
Try to get a coyote.
Okay, that's
slang
better.
for coyote.
Yeah. So coyotes and coons again.
Yeah, but this time this year I'm actually going to try. We didn't go crazy on raccoons, but we got them. I understand.
No,
the premise.
and I would. It's harder for you. I would say I trapped probably twice as much as you did. I'm not saying with more results because.
But I understand the premise, and on average, I found 1 to 2 per spot is what I'm going to walk away with. The amount of traps I have, I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, last year I said I wanted to catch 30 in a year, and that was overshooting. I think realistically now this year with what we have going on is a little more as far as waterfowl hunting. We have a lot more access to waterfowl hunting this year now that I have a boat. Well, I mean, we had a boat last year, but I have a boat that we can take anywhere at any time, and the super reliable brand new motor. Like I said, I think it's going to open up more opportunities, so it's just going to squeeze out a lot. So I think my goal this year would be just to set a good, easy limit to hit would be 10 raccoons this year.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not setting a goal.
You have to set a goal.
One more than last year, I'd be happy.
Which is?
7? 6?
Yeah.
Thought it was
No. Sorry, you caught 6, I caught 5. Or no, I caught 7. So you either caught 6 or 8.
I'll just keep my number 7 no matter what. If I get 7 this year, I'm okay with that.
All right.
Because I kind of want to dabble in some of the other stuff too.
Like what?
7 would be, like I said, I want to get a coyote, and then maybe I'll get a couple muskrat traps and go around the dock. Like not where I have to take the boat out, but I'll just walk out and I know there's muskrat holes all along the road there.
There's gotta be.
So, I mean that's all I'm thinking for that. I put my you want me to use proper phrases? My raccoon baculone is now
Your coon bone
is on a gold chain.
Yeah. Oh, send me a picture. I'll post it.
It's not that good. I kind of butchered the end of it because I couldn't tell what was bone and what was like cartilage.
Well, it's all bone.
Then it softened up in the bleach. That's probably what it was.
I
kept forgetting about it. I left it in the bleach.
I don't know where mine is.
That's why I put mine in that weird spot. Because remember,
it's somewhere. It was in the bed of my truck, and I put it somewhere. It might be on the concrete lip outside.
But do you remember when I said I'm going to put it up here? Nobody goes up here, and I'll randomly remember in the summertime. Well, randomly in the summertime, I'm like, oh, the bone's up there. And I reached up there and grabbed it, and it was disgusting. And I took it down. I took it home. I shaved all the stuff off and put it in bleach, and then I forgot about it again for 2 weeks.
Fair.
And I took it back out, drilled a hole through. Oh, my God. When I was taking the Dremel through it, Amber was on FaceTime with me so I could do like a clean hole.
Yeah.
I didn't want to use a drill bit because if it catches and rips it apart, so I used like
the
milling bit of the Dremel to go through. The smell was
terrible.
Awful.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
It's a penis.
I was gagging. There's raccoon penis dust in my room.
You did that in your bedroom?
Not my bedroom, the TV room.
It's still.
Yeah, I did.
Ew, you have a garage.
I was inside for the night. And that's where my Dremel is in the house because I was use it for electronics.
Oh, I forgot you finally took it back. Oh
One of
wait, you
them.
bought another one, didn't you?
Yeah, I did just end up buying another one. Yeah, I bought a little one. That's not important. Uh, did you do anything Saturday, hunting or fishing related?
You mean Sunday?
Sunday, yes, I meant
No,
Sunday.
but No, I didn't. I didn't.
I did.
What'd you do? Oh yeah, you fished.
I went fishing with Amber. What?
Ooh, we're saying names on here now.
Her mom listens to it.
You guys are getting pretty serious.
All right. Anyway,
Pretty serious.
I went fishing with Amber. It was a good
we
time.
chat on Facebook now. I would say things are getting pretty serious.
She caught more fish than me, but in reality, I caught more fish than her because I will never admit that she beat me.
You just did. You caught 3. She caught 7, right?
10.
10. Yep.
I caught 10. I caught 13 actually.
You did not.
My
you
boat.
Caught 3.
It's my boat.
That doesn't count.
It's my boat.
Does
It
not
wouldn't have
count.
happened
Never
without
counts.
me.
Never will
But
count. Never has counted.
We went out there. I called Kenny. They were on their way back from Elsaburo Point. We didn't end up seeing each other, but it was kind of a last minute thing. I wasn't thinking about it. The fishing was really good, but the tide was weirdly high. You know the back creeks that I take to cut from Black Ditch to where my cabin was?
You're not the first person to say that. So I heard that from a guy that was at the beach in Cape May. Said there was almost no beach. And then Dad said that Sunday there was a weird tide and it was really high.
I'm going to give you the scale, but we'll get to that as part of the story.
Okay.
So we're going around. I'm going through the back ditches. I'm like, you know how it's really narrow even on high tide?
Yeah.
It was wide open. I was like, what is going on here? And, like, I was kind of losing my way because all the landmarks I'm used to seeing, like, 2 feet lower.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I told her, I know I'm going the right way. Like, I've done this route a million times.
Yeah.
I know it looks sketchy in the beginning because you have to cut through, like, maybe a 2-foot gap a couple times, and then it opens back up again. And it was weird. And I came out at the cabin. I didn't think nothing of it. We were fishing. I came back to the dock. You know how the dock floats? I don't know. I'm assuming everybody that listens to this knows about the floating part of the dock, the ramp, and then where it connects. So, where it connects was 1.5 feet lower than the dock. It was going like this, and the dock itself was underwater. The boards were floating. The water was all the way up under my truck.
So what you're saying is like Newbridge, the water would have been touching Newbridge.
I couldn't tell you that.
Or
Newbridge is
close to
kind of Newbridge is kind of high.
No, or Clinton Bridge.
Quentin Bridge was probably touching the bottom of. There's maybe 1.5 feet between the top of the water and the bottom of Hancock's Bridge.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I can go high tide, I can go full bore under Hancock's Bridge.
The dock's destroyed right now. A lot of those boards got pulled up.
Finally got
pulled up, so
yeah.
That's going to be fun. I said, watch your feet. If you miss, your foot's not going to stop going. So, all those boards that we have laid to walk from where the truck is, they were all floating like 1 foot high. Like, the water was up on the road.
Really?
It was a crazy tide. I've never seen anything like it. But that was the only drama. We went home.
Well, that's probably why the fishing was so good. It brought him.
It was really good.
Yeah. Did you catch anything other than catfish?
Bunker. Yeah. And went back. I made deer cheesesteaks. She likes deer a lot. That was it. It was a pretty good weekend.
Did you make it with mushrooms and onions? And
we didn't have any of that. I used garlic powder, onion powder.
Pop Earls?
She didn't want Cajun cheesesteaks. I tried to. I told her it was going to be good. She's like, Cajun cheesesteaks seem strange.
She's strange.
That's why we get along so well.
Yeah, that's fair. She does date you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But
well,
it was a really good weekend.
It
was like an almost perfect weekend.
Oh.
Half of that was you, too.
Yeah, that's fair.
Don't make it weird.
That's fair. Well, you got anything to add?
No? You want to end it on that?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Real quick. Oh, what I was going to talk about. The next time you'll hear from us will be after next weekend. So Saturday and Sunday is the 42nd annual Barnegat Bay Decoy and Gunning Show. A lot of cool things there. It's at the Tuckerton Seaport in Tuckerton. It's I forget the road.
Where's it at?
It's Tuckerton.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Yeah. Anyway, Tuckerton Seaport, 42nd annual
See what?
42nd annual Barnegat Bay Decoy and Gunning Show. There's calling contest, decoy contest, shooting contest, dog contest, the dock jumps. New Jersey Fish and Wildlife will be there. New Jersey Ducks Unlimited will be there. New Jersey Fur Trappers Association will be there. We'll be there. I'm probably going to get there around 9 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock. Saturday. We won't be there Sunday, but we'll be there Saturday. I'm going to do the goose calling contest. That starts at 10 o'clock on Saturday. If anybody wants to come make fun of me,
I'll be doing that.
My second year doing it. Trying to think. There's obviously decoy contest, really cool hand carved stuff, local hand carved stuff, hunting supplies, all that kind of stuff. Just giving it a plug because it's a really, really cool show.
I'm excited, and then we might get out hunting after. We'll see.
Yes, I plan to goose hunt one more time before the season ends.
But I also wouldn't be upset if this last weekend was our last goose hunt of early season. Ended on a good note. And
then after that, we have a 1 week break, and then it's down to Maryland with Jeff to hunt. So a lot of cool things coming. Anyway, keep an eye out for the new YouTube video that should be up this week sometime. Anything to add?
It's all from me.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening.
See ya.